Well, that didn't go to plan at all. Past couple weeks have been very, Anyway, let's get into the video. So VDC round 3, what happened to me? If you don't know, the event really didn't go to plan. So first things first, as I do with all of these videos, what is VDC, aka Virtual Drift Championship? Essentially, 70 plus drivers from around the globe, whether you are in Europe, Asia, America, South America, does not matter, around the globe, come to compete on the forefront of the most competitive esports drifting competition on the planet in Assetto Corsa. It's essentially the Formula Drift or the Drift Masters of the virtual world. And me, I compete in it, which is kind of cool. Now, a question that has arisen the past couple weeks, which I will answer: how do you get into VDC? Well, there are a couple ways to do it. The first way, which is arguably easier, is spending $500,000 of your hard-earned money to make your way up into Formula Drift Pro 1 or Drift Masters. Then you automatically get a license. Or throughout the year prior, or I guess during the VDC season, there are different feeder series that you can participate in. You can find these in the FAQ section of the VDC Discord. I'll leave it down below. But essentially, you can compete in these competitions, and the top 3 of the series standings of these competitions will get a VDC license. Actually, no, wait, one of them being CNDS, which is the Concept Drift series, that is actually the top 5. So that's good, and they're doing great things over there. Anyways, let's get into what happened. So usually I'm at the computer and I'm looking through the things that happen, and today I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to talk about it. The elephant in the room, yeah, I'm in a new car. Was it the wisest decision? At this point, I don't really know. I thought it was, but yeah. I'm in a Vertex BMW E92 M3, which is pretty hot boy, which is what I want to go for, that style. I love German cars. Reason being, I wasn't super comfortable with the GT86. We don't know the suspension and the geometry of a GT86 is just kind of weird. It's really wide, it's not very long, so it's very snappy. Just how the front end reacts isn't great. You had to do weird things when it came to driving. And yeah, the first round I competed in it, I got 4th. Genuinely, I don't know if this is just negative or I'm like talking down on myself, but I genuinely think it was because of my buddy and Balance Racing driver, Brandon Patrick, who gave me a tune for the car and it was able to drive really well. But last round in Pittsburgh, didn't drive it super well, went out in the 16. I'm like, you know what? I'm not the biggest fan of this car. It doesn't really suit me style-wise, and as a car itself, it doesn't really express how I am as a driver. It's a pretty basic car. Paint's great. Thank you, Hayden. You're a G. But overall, as a car, it's just not something that suits me. So I wanted to go with something more race car style, but also hot boy, which Vertex E92 can't go better than that. So qualifying, it went okay, I guess. I qualified in the main show, which is really what matters. I qualified with a 93.7, which to my standards isn't great. I usually try to shoot for a 95 plus, and that landed me in 14th, which again isn't great. And that landed me 14th in qualifying, which, you know, isn't great, but I've qualified a lot worse in the high 20s, as in like 27th, done that before. Also getting qualifying points, which in VDC you get points if you qualify within the top 5. Always try to aim for that, because when you're fighting in a championship, any points you can get is always good. But unfortunately, I fell short in 14th. So, battles. This was also very short-lived. I went against Nico Stalia, who is a Spanish guy, more like kid. This isn't hate to Nico, I'm just saying it how it is. Dude's 12 or 13, I honestly forget, but he's a young guy, right? And he's a ripper on the sim. He drives it a lot and is really good. He even has his own pro car now, like in real life. He has an M50 E46 with F22 body panels. So, serious guy. I was going up against him. I knew it was gonna be a battle. He's got a lot of time. He's looking good. He put a B58 in his FDRX7, which is very weird to say because that's not something like anyone has done, but it's the virtual world, so anything can happen. So I knew it was going to be a battle. Now, here's where I messed up, and kind of I want to dive into on this video what happened and why I fell short. Usually when it comes to the preparation of these competitions, I like to take the first 3 or 4 days to learn and understand the track and make small adjustments. And on day 3 and 4, really finalize making the car feel good and making as little tuning adjustments as possible in order to just dial in the car and just get better as a driver in me driving through the problems in order to, you know, drive the car well to the box, which usually that has worked. However, this round, I decided to throw everything out the window and do the exact opposite. 30 minutes before my battle, I was making damper adjustments. I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm gonna be honest here. I probably shouldn't have been doing drastic damper adjustments to make my car suspension act completely different than it has been the entire week. But in my head, I'm like, I'm trying to win, so I need to take risks. And I need to learn that there's a difference between a calculated risk and just a risk. So yeah, frankly, it didn't go exactly to plan. The car felt very uneasy. It was either it had too much forward and I would just slam into walls, or it would have not enough forward and I would be short every wall. So that was fun. That's what happened. And in battle, I was very sketched out going into it. So my lead runs were great. I said lead runs and I got knocked down in 32. I went OMT with Nico once, right? My lead runs were great. Textbook lead runs. Wasn't doing anything stupid. I always feel when it comes to a lead run, you want to just lay down a 100-point run. You don't want to do any runaway games. You don't want to pull out angle anywhere. You just want to lay down a good lead so the chase can have a good chase. So there's nothing put onto you that would deem you at fault, right? Now, when it came to the chases, my ideal chasing is to mimic the driver and to be as close as possible, right? Nico's car is a lot smaller than mine, an FDRX7, and I had that in mind. An FDRX7 is a lot smaller than the E92 M3. So coming up to the event, so leading up to the event, I was practicing a lot with Mustangs and E36s, which are bigger than FDRX7s, right? So I had that in mind. The main goal was not to run over Nico, which in hindsight, maybe it should have been to run over Nico because I would have been closer. But as you can see with the chase runs going on right now, the first transition from the outer zone into the second outer zone, I would always give him too much room and I'd catch up like halfway through the second wall. That was really the determining factor on why I lost those battles, was really there, and because I wasn't as aggressive as him. It seems like the judging style in VDC has not drastically changed, but more so adopted into this year from last year. Last year, they were really focused on mimicking and being as close as possible. They didn't want people cutting the line, having a V shape when it came to chasing people. They were looking for aggression, but mimicking when it came to aggression. But it seems they've really fallen away from that and are really just proximity over everything. If you need to be like this, if you need to be in front of the car, but you're super aggressive and you're on the dude's door, perfectly fine, right? I realized that after the event, of course, watching through the event, seeing what was going on, that's something that I'm gonna think about. And unless they outright say, hey, we want you to mimic over being aggressive, I need to switch my driving style to be more aggressive. So these chase runs, yeah, they were okay. I just wasn't super aggressive, which ultimately led to my downfall and, you know, wasn't able to clinch the win in the top 32, which is unfortunate. I haven't been a top 32. I haven't been out in the top 32 in, I guess, a season and a half. The last time that happened was 2023. Last time that happened was Manfield 2023, which is, you know, unfortunate that it's been, you know, 2-3 years since I've been out in top 32 and it has to happen, you know, now. But it's okay, racing. Just trying to, you know, maximize myself as a driver, figure out the setup, just make sure, you know, what I'm doing is correct and I'm not doing anything dumb. When it comes to the next round, which is at the end of this month, I'm gonna really ensure that when it comes to preparation, I'll have my set schedule, I'm gonna stick to it, and I'm really going to just extract as much of the car from day 1 to 4 and then 5 to the day of the competition. Just drive the fucking car, do as well as I can, and not try to make any drastic changes on days 6 and 7. Drive it, do well, have fun. I mean, the E92 is a great car. It drives a lot better than the GT86. I just tried to extract like either too much grip or side bite or whatever it may have been, just to make it drive perfectly. And because of that, I overtuned the car, really just too much emphasis into the setup of the car when I could have had a meh setup and just driven through it and probably have done a lot better. So yeah, this video, not a ton of the breakdown of the battles because they were, you know, 2. This video really was to be a journal and a reminder to myself, like to just lock in mindset wise and not to overcompensate for a lot of different things. Just do what you got to do. Don't try to overcomplicate things, drive well, and the rest will be taken care of, because that's what I've done the past few years and it's worked. So yeah, with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit of a different one. If you have any questions about competition driving, comments about what I said during this video, or any concerns about myself, I guess, leave them down in the comments below. If you're looking for a place for new sim racing gear, make sure to go to boundlessracing.com and use code 404 for 5% off of any purchase. This includes turnkeys as well. It's a great place for you to go get any sim racing equipment, whether it be a new cockpit, a new monitor stand, wheelbase, wheel, pedals, shifter, handbrake, or even if you want a turnkey setup and everything built for you, including the PC and the monitors. So with that, hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.